So, welcome to Meet, Build, Grow, and this is our launching training, Networking 101. This will be the second time we're actually presenting this. We started back in October, and during that time we've learned a few things and shared a few things with other people, and it's been growing, 1 week at a time. So, Networking 101 is to teach you the fundamentals of networking the meet, build, grow way. It may not be exactly the way you've done it in the past, and would expect to learn new things from one another. So, that's what we're doing tonight. So, the first thing you got to ask yourself is what is relational marketing? And that's what we do at Meet, Build, Grow. The keys to relational marketing are know, like, and trust, a friend that you haven't met yet, pipelines versus production, and a firm foundation for growth. So, know, like, and trust is kind of easy. It's a standard in the field. If I know you and I like you and I've got trust in you, I'm going to refer to you because I don't want to hand you my clients if I don't know you, like you, or trust you. A friend you haven't met yet is that philosophy that even if we do the same exact business, we're both going to do it differently. So we can still get to know one another and refer to one another, even if we're doing the same job. Because we each have our unique things, and there are some people that would be a better fit with one than the other. Pipelines versus production goes to the fault or the fact that when I am getting to meet you in a referral relational marketing, I don't want you selling to me, but I do want to develop a relationship with you. And once that relationship is developed, then you have access to the people I know, and I have access to the people you know. So don't go for the short term sell. Instead, go for the long term relationship because I could know hundreds of people rather than just selling to me. And a firm foundation for growth is kind of self evident. If you don't have a firm foundation, you don't know somebody, you could be giving them referrals and they could be tanking your clients at the end of the chain, or not following up with them, or doing something that doesn't have a lot of integrity. And a firm foundation helps us all grow. So, that firm foundation and knowing one another and knowing ourselves is really important. So this is our Meet, Build, Grow flow chart. So the name Meet, Build, Grow is exceptionally intentional, and it's three categories that we focus our training in. First, we need to meet one another. That means knowing your audience, introductions, related spheres, 60-second, and somebody, anybody kind of wording. These are all trainings that we've been offering throughout the past few months as well, so that you might see something alongside, and you'll hear us say that our training tonight is a build topic. Know, like, and trust is a build topic. You're building a relationship with somebody. One-to-ones is a build topic. Tell, don't sell, another build topic. 10-minute 10-minute presentations, another way to build relationship with someone. And then grow is, once I've gotten to know you a little bit better, what are my common interests with you? What are my communication? What's referral development? For example, Michael shared this, he started coding when he was 11. I started coding when I was 14 on a VIC 20 with a cassette tape. We have some common interests there, so we can start to develop a relationship for the purpose of building referrals for one another. So the first thing to talk about is knowing your audience. So most of the people that come to our group are networking professionals. They do some kind of sales development work for their organization or for their own business. They attend more than one networking group. One would be exclusive, which means there's one representative per business category, and it's designed to build strong relationships between people. And the other would be open, which is multiple representatives per business category, and it's designed to facilitate meeting people. We're actually an open network. We don't have sole categories, but we are working a little bit deeper than most open networking groups do. And most of the people in the audience have been doing this for a long time. You meet a lot of people who are all selling the same thing. So if you're doing, let's say, Juice Plus, you don't need to tell us about Juice Plus. You need to tell us what's different about how you do Juice Plus, because that's going to differentiate you from the other 10 people we know that sell Juice Plus. Next is introductions. When you're introducing yourself, start to somebody else in a face-to-face or even online. You want to start with a real compliment and a smile. I like the way your hair is a real compliment. And what it does is it breaks down the barriers between people. You also want to wear or show your business name and your name. That's why we rename ourselves at the beginning of the meeting, so we all know who each other are and where we're coming from. Another thing is to be polite. If people are chatting, wait your turn, don't interrupt. Um, and have a business card handy. We don't have business cards online, which is why we do the chat log with the contact information. And then that gets sent out in an email after the meeting, probably tomorrow morning. So related spheres, that's when what I do is related to what you do. For example, tonight, Matt, Michael, Ben, and Karen are all in related spheres. And actually, Don could be considered related spheres as well, because they're all about marketing a business and marketing an individual. Karen works on the content, Don works on the image, and Ben works on the website hosting, and Michael does the web programming. So they're all related, and those are easy referrals to pass. That if Don hears that somebody's building a new website, then he can pass a referral to Michael, who knows that you have to have hosting to build that website. So it goes to Ben, who knows that, hey, by the way, we've got to have good content, otherwise the website's going to fail. So you see how those relationships very easy to pass referrals. And those are called power teams, and they help you build strong pipelines. You can also be creative for people outside of your field. For example, for Don, somebody who caters at weddings might actually be a great referral, because he could follow the family throughout all the different stages of life. A pastor might be a good referral for a photographer, for a florist, a singer, a cake decorator, and an event planner, because they're kind of a hub person, and all these other businesses connect in. So the next thing is our 60 seconds for success. And they're kind of a standard for networking groups. Some groups actually go down to 30 seconds and some go up to 5 minutes. It just depends on the size and the frequency. But, some of the do's and don'ts are to keep to the time limit that's there, so everyone has a chance to share and we can keep within our blocked out time. Keep your energy level high. Nobody wants to listen to no, 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 no. So, smile and lift your eyebrows and change your inflection. Keep your message succinct. Don't go on and on and on. If you can say it in 5 words, say it in 5, not 50. And then have a couple of presentations in your back pocket. It's all right to plan a few out on to index cards, for example, or put them in Google Docs and put them on your tablet or your phone, so that you can pull up a different 60-second presentation for every meeting that you go to. They should be educational and not promotional, which means focus on letting me know who you are and what makes you different, not what you have to sell to me. And they will have 3 elements in them: your introduction, a client story or message, and your best referral or an ideal referral. So somebody or anybody equals nobody. One of the common mistakes that gets made when asking for a referral is, I would like to meet somebody who, or I can do business with anybody. The reason that we don't use those terms, if you see the little stick figure, he is simple. He's a stick figure. It doesn't remind me or evoke anything of recognition in me. But if you look down below to Celine Dion, now I know Celine is a singer. I know, and if I know her, I could introduce you, or I could say, I know Steve Perry, would he be a good referral for you? Because the whole image evokes some memories for me and brings up things that I would recognize, and I can put together that you were looking for somebody who sang, and I know a singer, versus you were looking for anybody. So the more specific that you get, the more on target the referral can be for you, and the more likely you're going to be to get a referral. So, know, like, and trust is a formula. It's the length of time times your behavior plus follow up, and it equals will I do business with you? If I have known you for 3 days and you have hounded me and sent me 5 emails of Facebook requests and liked everything on my page, that's follow up, but it's way too much. So, I'm not going to do business with you because you're getting creepy. But if we've known each other for a few weeks or a couple of months, you've always been on time, you don't interrupt, you're considerate, and you've brought to me a couple of referrals, and you followed up with things that we said. Let's say we're going to meet next week, we meet next week, then the odds that I'm going to do business with you have increased exponentially. Of course, there's no exponents in that formula, but you get my point. So people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And there are strategies that you can use. You can attend meetings regularly and frequently. The more we see you on the screen on Mondays or every other Monday, the more likely we are to remember you when we're out and about, remember what you do, and realize that you're going to be somebody that is consistent. And that will translate into consistency for our clients. Be in good communication with one another. Don't do a one and done. I came, we had a one to one, we talked, and now I'm never going to have to talk to you again because I know what you do. This is about building relationship, not about one and done. And don't be on the run. Don't come into a meeting and just drop what you do and then leave early. Make other people feel important. More important you make me feel, the more likely I'm going to like you. It's just the way people work. It's human behavior. So one-to-one meetings are a way to build relationships. Some tips would be to meet in a public place or an office. It takes about an hour to do a one-to-one, and that's half of your time and half of my time. Come prepared to talk about what you're looking for and to ask questions of who I am, and make it a give and take. There's a dance card on this slide because it's about working together and giving to one another and being in tempo with one another and asking questions and listening for answers, not just talking, but doing both sides of it. So the first one-to-one is not the place to show videos, talk about recruiting, focus on your personal business or agenda, or convince the other person to buy your product. That's the fastest way to never have a one-on-one with that person again. The one-to-one meeting is the place to determine if this person is someone you want to continue to get to know and if there is an affinity or connections between you. I actually have a product I call Relationship Bingo. That's a bunch of questions that you can ask one another. And it's very useful if you know of somebody you are afraid is going to hijack the one-to-one meeting and only talk about what they do. Then you're both asking reasonable questions of each other rather than letting one person run the show. So the next point is to tell, don't sell. And you know you're selling if the other person hasn't asked the question you are answering and you aren't listening to the other person. Answer questions that are asked. Why did you become a web developer? Why did you become an editor? What led you to this career? Ask questions that inspire a conversation. Did you ever learn to ride a bike? What's your favorite movie? Try to find out common interests. Common interests allow us to make connections, build trust, focus on one another, be authentic with one another, be transparent with one another, and build relationship with one another. Communications fall into two clear categories. Follow up, that's a reach out. That means set up other one to ones with people, send notes, emails, messages, and follow through. If you said you were going to do something, do it and find referrals for that person. Sometimes a connection is only enough. I can connect Karen to a printer and a publisher. Those might be really good connections for her in her business because now she's got more of a pipeline in her business. So sometimes a business connection is just as good as a referral, even if that person has to go develop a relationship with someone else. It may not be somebody that they've had in their wheelhouse before. So be creative about the communications as well. So, what do you want? Do you want just a little dribble, or do you want the Alaskan pipeline in your business? When we treat everybody around us like they are a potential sale, that's the pipeline. That's the production focus. When we treat everybody like a connection between one another, from my tribe to your tribe, that's building a pipeline. And the more we know, like, and trust each other, the larger the pipeline can be. So we want to develop strong enough relationships that the other person thinks of you when they hear needs statements. When you do get a referral, make sure that you say thank you. Keep the person in the loop. I called your client. I really appreciate the referral. It wasn't going to happen for us. Or, it was a really good connection. And I think we're going to be able to work on this project together. And then craft referrals for the other person. Think about, take one name each week and say, who am I going to give a referral to this person for? Wendy does financial planning. I know somebody who just graduated from college. I bet they could use a financial planner. I'm going to craft that relationship for Wendy with my friend's child to help build her relationship and help my friend's child.